Thank you so much. It's really nice to see you. It's lovely being in Dublin again. I filmed here. I have friends here. I love coming to Dublin, and I'm very happy that you saw the movie. And I'm very curious about your opinion about the movie. So,
So yeah, there will be an opportunity to ask questions from the audience, but we
Yes,
are
of
going
course.
to start with a couple of questions, and then we move to the questions from the audience. So maybe just to open the discussion, in one of the interviews, I heard you say that Minghun, that this film is a very special film for you. Could you tell us a little bit more about that? Why is it a special movie for you?
it is special for me as an actor, and it's also very special for me as a person, as a human being, because special for me as an actor because when I first got the script, I knew how difficult the work will be. And when we started rehearsing with Jan Matuszyński, the director, we knew that we will have to show something happened here. That's why I was holding you helping. Thank you. I knew that I will have to show all my emotions on my face and keep it here in my heart and in my chest, and that I will have to show the things that we are not prepared for being, able to show it to other people. And also when we had started shooting, something happened in my real private life, and it was like disaster, something very important. I got very bad news, so every day I was crying on set and I was crying in real life, but I was hoping that everything will be okay in my life, and I was hoping that everything will be okay with the movie. And also because in my country, in Poland, I'm known as a hero, as a soldier. I played characters like tough guys, and I love Jurek because he's a kind of everyman. He is like a man on a bus. He is like a man on the street. Sometimes in our lives we pass in a crowded places, and we see many sad people, but we don't pay so much attention on them, right? And we have no idea what they are feeling right now, or what kind of what do they suffer right now. So that's why that was so special and so hard when we started rehearsing.
Yes, and it is a kind of different role that you play here. I'm sure people in the audience are also interested how challenging it was to actually. There's lots of close-ups of your face in the movie, and playing grief in itself seems really challenging and difficult. So I'm wondering if you could maybe talk about where the motivation or inspiration came from to work.
As I said, something very important happened in my real life when we started shooting, and it's amazing when sometimes in our actor's life is mixing with the real life. And I'm a village boy. I was born in a really small country. I call it village, in a small village in the middle of Poland. So when I was a teenager, I couldn't expect that I will become an actor, and I will get a chance or chances playing with big actors like Cillian Murphy, for example, from Ireland. I played in the same movie called Anthropoid with Cillian, for example. So it's something. This profession is unique, is very special, but we have to sometimes put what we have very deep inside ourselves, and we have to put it out. So when something bad or very good happens in our lives, it helps us. But it wasn't easy for me crying on every day, and I wasn't thinking too much. Is the camera all the time on my face? I was trying to focus on my job, and I was hoping that if when we finish the movie and the movie will be in the cinemas and I will have meetings like this one, I will ask audience what this film means to you, and what are your feelings? That it gives you something or not, or what kind of from your life, what kind of experiences from your life it takes. So you just have to focus, on everything you do in life, and.
Yeah, and I guess we can hear in a moment from the audience, how authentic or how they could maybe relate to your emotions shown in the film, and we also see the meeting of two cultures in the movie, which is to me very original idea. You kind of don't think about Chinese culture and Polish culture having much in common, but they meet, they collide, because there's tension between Jurek and Ben, who, both single men who are dealing with the grief, but somehow they meet each other halfway. And why do you think, what do you think is their motivation? Like, they start with this kind of tension between them, but then in the end they kind of come on board. Jurek is very skeptical about this Minghun, this tradition. He thinks it's ridiculous initially.
Yeah, because the only thing that he believed in died, or his wife and his daughter. That's why he doesn't believe in God, so he doesn't know what to do. And when Ben comes with this idea to make the funeral and wedding in one, I didn't know about that. It's a real tradition in some parts of China. They still do it. So I had no idea about this. And when I read the script for the first time, I thought, wow, what a great idea. But in a movie for Jurek, especially when there's nothing left for him, like he says the lines, there's nothing left. And the movie, for me, is also about love, because we have no idea when we come to this world. We have no idea for how long we're gonna stay here, and what kind of people we're gonna meet, and for how long we're gonna be in love with somebody. And lucky we are if we fall in love with other people, and if other people fall in love with us. And also the movie for me is about the great hope that if you really believe, then maybe something will happen. Maybe one day you will meet your wife again, like at the end of the movie, right? That was one of Jurek's biggest dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So that, in Poland we have a huge Chinese community, but I'm not so sure that we know a lot about Chinese people.
Yeah, so the movie is also exploration of these different traditions and maybe also similarities. I was thinking about what are the Polish traditions of funeral and mourning and around that, and it's really interesting, this kind of dialogue between two cultures, and that they can meet because of these two men who are trying to deal with
grief. At the end of the day, they decide to do this together, right? And also with the neighbor, with the lady, right? With Anna. Mm-hmm. So, like I said before, we don't know what to do and how to behave after a great loss, and no one shouldn't judge us how we behave, how we decide to bury our family members. And if you do this tradition way or other way, it's your choice. It's a family choice. But in Poland some older people used to say that what our neighbors will say, right? It's always something, what they will say, what the people will say. So, yeah, for me, this movie talks also about you can do it your way. You can do it because you loved, because you believe, and sometimes we just don't know what to do, and we have right to don't know what to do.
And that's okay. Yeah. I don't want to maybe ask too many questions and open this to the audience, but I also want to mention that apart from Dariusz, we have another actress from the film that is here in the audience, and I just hope I will pronounce the name correctly. It's Brid Ni Nakton. So do we have Brid in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brid, could you stand up? So this is the character that we thought was nice, but then it turned out that she was trading bodies, dead bodies. So it's lovely to have you here as well, Brid. Would you like to maybe comment about the collaboration? Are you?
Yeah, it was just so nice. The scene was very tough for me, but it was lovely watching Brid and Shane, the Chinese actor, and also the scene, the contest of the scene is unbelievable.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's see if there are questions in the audience.
Yes.
Do we have a showing mic?
Hello, I have a question. How did you prepare for this role and delve into the emotions of such a profound loss while also stepping into the world of Chinese tradition of Minghun? And did working on this role change your perspective on grief or spirituality in any way?
Some of the words I've spoken before answered that question, but luckily we've had like 2 months for preparations, for rehearsals, and we talked a lot with the director about the character, and we ran through all of the scenes with all the actors, and we were really well prepared. But then that's the rehearsals, and then it comes the shooting. So it wasn't easy, like I said before, for me, but I've put all I've had. I mean, there's nothing left in me. I've put all my emotions and all of my heart and everything, all my strength, I would say. And did it change something in my spiritual? No, you know, after one of the screenings in Poland, one of the young guys who watched the movie, he said, I think that a lot of young people should see the movie because then they could understand why their parents care about them so much. And I started looking even more at my kids, you know. I have 3 kids, and when my grandparents died, I was very young. I was like 2, 3, or 4 years old, so I barely remember that. But I have my wife and kids, and I have no idea how would I react after some kind of... And I'm not, even when I'm trying to explain that now, I have no idea. I cannot even thinking now about what would I do? I always say that actors are kind of electrony, atomy, little atoms.
Atoms, particles.
Yeah, and we deliver emotions. we read the script because the audience before screening don't know anything about the movie, and we deliver emotions. And if there is any emotions in you right now, I want to hear it. If you did you like it or no? What kind of difference after the screening is in you? And yeah.
So it could be comments, not just questions.
Yeah, I can say something. Thank you so much.
I just want to say, lovely to see you here. Thank you so much for coming, and congratulations, such a brilliant performance. I just want to say I really was moved. Yeah, you played like so real. I kind of probably the reason I was so moved was also because I went through like similar things, not with my child, just with my dad, like going through, having chemo at home, and the next day going to the hospital and picking up the clothes, in black bag, and then going to see his body in the morning. So it was just so real when I was looking at it. And just wanted to ask how difficult for you was to come off the role at the end, because it was so emotional and like brilliant performance, but like how difficult was it at the end to come off this role or any other roles? Is it hard to just leave it behind you?
It was very hard, and when we were finishing with this movie after 2 months of shooting, I said to the director and to all of the crew members that I feel kind of relieved that we're finishing and we're gonna go home, but also at the same time I feel like I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss that kind of skupienie, focus, and intimacy in the movie, and touching that kind of problems, because we don't do so many movies like that in Poland. So, and also what I said at the beginning, something happened in my real life, and it didn't finish when I finished the movie.
Bing.
It was still going on. So it wasn't easy. It's never easy when you give, like I said before, I gave all of my heart and I gave all of my emotions. It's not so easy. But also you miss that, and I hope, and when we finish, I started hoping that maybe next project will be as good is not a good enough word, but challenging enough, to develop, to do something different. It's never easy.
Any other questions? Yes. Somebody?
The microphone is over there.
Language.
Okay. Yeah, so coming back to the situation with the daughter, when she dies and Jurek finds out that she had a little secrets she kept from her dad about the boy she loved and the life she plans, and also considering that some Asian cultures believe that we have multiple faces, some faces that we show to other people, faces that we believe we are, and then the real face that nobody ever sees. I was just wondering, as an actor, do you ever dig to those other faces that other people don't see to build a character?
Yeah, exactly. This is what I said before. Yeah. This, if you want to develop as an actor, you have to dig as deep as you have to find another face. I'm a very lucky boy, village boy. I've done like over 100 movies and TV series, but I still have that hunger for getting and trying something new, and trying to act something which is very far from me as Marcin, me as an actor. And this is what I always say, that in real life I can be an everyman. I can be quite boring. I can do lovely boring stuff like drinking coffee with my wife, like driving my daughters to school, I like walking my dog. But in films, I can do everything. So that's why I can put all these emotions that I don't dare put in real life, So that's why I appreciate doing this profession and being an actor. And also I understand what kind of responsibility it is being an actor and showing these faces and living my also private life and talking to other people, even if they haven't seen any of my movies, and meeting them on streets. So, but I love digging in myself and trying to. I'm not the biggest fan of my body and my face, and really, I have a lot of complexes. But in the movies, I can be a hero. I can be a nice guy. I can be a handsome one.
I think quite a few people are shocked. Any other questions or comments? There's one there at the back. The hand is very high. Oh, there's two actually. Okay.
I wanted to say thank you for the amazing performance. I wish that you were in that tish at the door because I was almost wiping right through his face, so congratulations. I wanted to ask, were there any changes from the original script? Or did you bring anything from yourself into the film, or is everything the same related to that? Or anything changed?
Yes and no, but because at the beginning the script looked different, but as most of the filmmakers or all of the filmmakers say, there are three steps of making a movie. First, when you write the script, then when you film it, and third is when you editing, right? And on every step, you can make changes. So the script was a bit different. When we started filming, of course, there are some lines that I probably changed because it was closer to, as I believed, it was closer to my character or something like that, but it had to be approved by a director. So, yes, and then when Janek, the director, started the editing it, and they went into the studio and they changed the movie again because something very important happened again. His father, Janek's father, was very ill and he started dying. So he changed the movie. That's why at the end of the movie, there's a line for I dedicate it to my father, and he passed away. And that's why the final version of the movie looks very different than the script at the beginning. And probably I've put some of my intentions and dialogue ideas or a behavior, something like that. Or probably something more happened than I even remember, because I was so deep in it that I watched the movie like 4 times, and every time I saw it was different.
Hi, I have, maybe it's not question, but thank you so much for this movie. It's beautiful, so sensitive, and I think it's more, definitely it's about us, because we must do only one thing, die. And this is about everybody have somebody who passed away in the family, yes? And everybody have different history about this. Beautiful, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's one.
One more question. You have strong voice, you can speak it
This is the last
loud.
All right, so first of all, the film definitely is unpredictable and it shows real people going through real feelings and real things. But I wanted to ask you, like, what's your process of preparation for each role? Is it new each time you do a new role? And how much did it change from when you started your career to now? And what was the process for this role in particular? And like, how did you go from the first point when you read the script to actually coming up with stuff?
It's been always like this. I love the way of getting or taking part when somebody, for example, the director who wrote the script, gives me the script and offers me a character or role. And I read the script and I fall in love without any, exceptions. And I just fall in love. And then while reading, I see it in my imagination and I know how to act it. And then we go for the rehearsal and we speak our emotions with the director and with other actors. And that's the easiest way. But of course, I started acting in 1995, so next year it will be 30 years. Pretty long. And when I was studying and acting, and after studying, I was taking all the offers, Now I can choose. And now I can take, because also I need breaks now to get into, like we spoken before. If you go too deep, then it costs you so much, then it takes you a long time to get up. But in the most perfect world is, I get a script, I read it, like almost, I watch the movie, and I see it in my imagination, and I know how to act it, and then I say all the things after the reading, what I think about the character. And it's so simple, and I would love to keep it till the end, like that.
So I understand that we are approaching the end. Yeah. So maybe just to kind of end our evening, last final question about your plans. So recently we.
I have no plans.
But let's give some hope to the audience. We saw you in many international productions recently. I'm sure The Queen's Gambit, The Matrix, The Vikings.
It wasn't Matrix, it was the Mission Impossible.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Mission
sorry,
Impossible.
it's
I
no
was
problem.
thinking about Zhang. Zhang appears.
But I would love to
appeared
play
in-
in Matrix.
Yes. Will we see you in more international productions? Are
Yes,
you
next year.
committed to
Next
the
year.
national productions? Like, what are your plans?
I played in Valhalla, the Vikings. I played in, like I said before, I played in Anthropoid with Cillian Murphy, Jamie Dornan, Toby Jones, and I'm very proud of that. And next year will be released my recent movie called Mayday or Blackbird, in which I had opportunity playing with Ryan Reynolds and Kenneth Branagh. And yeah, but I hope in my country there are some propositions for me. So that kind of challenging like this one. And I hope next year I will come to Kilkenny again, because there's a very nice subtitle film festival going on Kilkenny every year, and I have friends there, Polish friends there. So, and when I was filming Valhalla, the Vikings here in the middle of pandemic, I took my bicycle with me and I was cycling to Kilkenny from Dublin to see them, because I was without my family for over 2 months here, so.
Okay, everybody's taking up cycling now. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Marcin Dorociński again.
Thank you very much.